Well, welcome back to this glorious homestead. I've not been doing a lot of filming because I've been doing a lot of cutting. And Leah always says, why don't you film some homesteading instead of logging cedar? Well, it's the logging cedar that's paying for the homestead right now. But I've got some massive logs on here. It don't take many logs like that to get a load of cedar. And the tractor's doing fine. The tractor's doing good. No problems with the steering cylinders. I just wonder if those right there made all the difference. They could have done it. But yeah, everything's going good with the tractor. Well, y'all stick around a little while. We're going to be logging cedar. It's first thing in the morning. It's about 9 o'clock. And I wanted to load up. I had probably about half a load yesterday, and I wanted to get down here this morning and load up a full load. Y'all stick around. I always stop right here under the shade tree to check my tires to make sure they're not rubbing. It's an older trailer. It's still a good trailer, but I'm limited on the weight I can carry based on the tires rubbing, and they're not rubbing right now, so we're good. I can barely get my finger between the tire and the deck, and that's when I know to stop. When I get the cedar loaded up about that high, I know it's getting time to stop. I don't have them as high on the sides. Not as high on the sides. I usually stop right above this. This side's about right. But this side right here could probably use a couple more logs, but I've got some really big logs on top, so I figured that would be enough. All right, we're going to sawmill. While I'm here at the sawmill, I hope they don't not take cedar. They got a bunch of it. I'd like to take y'all on a tour of this sawmill. Quite a bit of history. If y'all ever bought a birdhouse from Lowe's or Home Depot or Ace Hardware, this is where the lumber came from. Some of my cedar may be in your birdhouse. You never know. All right, that's one load of cedar down. I've got to run some errands. I gotta go by Walmart and get some propane and make a couple more stops, so we'll report back in a little while. of you may be wondering, where's Harley been? Well, Harley's turned into an entrepreneur. I'm proud of him. His window washing business has turned into a driveway house pressure washing business. So he's been pressure washing the driveway the past 2 days. And he's been unable to help me, which is fine, I don't care. I've got a pin that's fixing to come out. I'm going to have to stop and fix that. I got another pin. Anytime you run equipment, you expect stuff like this to happen. Or you should. I'm gonna have to put some pressure on it. That's why it's always good to have extra pins. Pins don't stay in. I don't care if you got a cable wrapped around them, a chain wrapped around them. I don't know how it happens. Pushing brush, picking up brush, pops those pins out somehow. The stick finds its way in there and pops it out. But yeah, Harley's turned into a little entrepreneur. He's been washing windows and trimming bushes, and now he's got into pressure washing. He's pressure washing driveways and sidewalks and patios. He's doing real good. Just word of mouth. But I'm proud of him. I guess he gets that from me. Because when I was 12 years old, we lived in the city, a neighborhood, and I was out mowing my yard, my mom and dad's yard, and my neighbor was out mowing his yard, and I asked him how much he would pay me to mow his yard. So I ended up getting his yard, and before I knew it, I had 3 yards in my neighborhood to mow, and all we had was a push mower, an electric weed eater. I'm trying to clean off this area right here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm cutting cedar up on the hill and dragging them down here and cutting them and topping them up down here. That way I can keep it nice and neat, and I'm wind rolling. I'm pushing all the debris over here next to this drop off. It's a drop off right there. So far it's working out pretty good. I like to keep a clean work area. I'm still babying the tractor. I'm still taking it really easy on it. I do not need this tractor to mess up again. Y'all see that poison ivy? That's why I've got to wash my clothes as soon as I get home. Leah's got us a separate laundry hopper, hamper, whatever. And I can't put my clothes in her laundry basket, because she can just look at it and catch poison ivy. Me, I guess I can roll around in it. I'm just not allergic to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook to that tree and pull it down here and limb it up right in here, because I got me a working area right here, and I'm cutting cedar up there and pulling them down here and putting all the tops over there. Most of it. That little pile right there, I'll burn it. And that pile right there, I did the same thing up there. I pulled it down and I piled it up. So You see all my brush is down here instead of way up there on the hill. That's a big cedar. I tell you, ever since I broke that glass, I've been shutting that door easy. I'm gun shy. All right, here we go. That's a big cedar. Headed up the mountain one more time. I think I'm gonna quit a little early today. I've got a good jump on tomorrow. We've got some chicken and steak to put on the grill, and I've got the propane. So I'm gonna quit a little early, go home, get cleaned up, hook up the propane tank, and have a good steak. But I want to get about four more logs. Speaking of red meat, have y'all heard about that tick? Or boxes of ticks that they're dropping from helicopters? It's carrying some kind of bacteria or disease that affects people's ability to consume red meat. I have no doubt that our government is doing that. You know, the government created Lyme disease and ticks. And now they're creating a disease that prevents you from eating red meat. I got two big trees. Yeah, so y'all hear about that tick disease, man. I didn't believe it until Uncle Dennis told us that our cousin was infected by the disease and can't eat red meat. And I was like, what? Can't eat red meat? What kind of disease is that? That sounds like lab-born disease. So I started doing some research on it, and they're actually dropping boxes of ticks infected with this disease. I don't know if it's a disease or virus or what it is, but sounds like Bill Gates probably got his hand in it. There's a guy on YouTube, or a guy on TikTok, actually, I think it was the World Economic Forum. He's talking about taking ticks and genetically modifying them to spread diseases that will keep us from eating red meat, and I say he's been successful. Evil, man, evil. People are just evil. So that tick disease is alpha gout, and I definitely believe it's genetically engineered. They're dropping them out of helicopters in boxes, millions of ticks. I've seen pictures of deer and elk and snakes covered with these blood-sucking parasites, to the point where the animal dies. Now, there are videos out there saying you can fix alpha gout. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, oh well. You get what I'm saying. The tick-borne disease that makes you allergic to red meat. So if you get it, there's some people out there on TikTok and YouTube that say they've got a cure for it, a natural cure. If you do your own research, you can find those videos. And I hope that's true. I hope there is a natural cure for it. Just do the best you can to keep the ticks off of you. The Lone Star tick is the one that spreads it. But keep all ticks off of you if you can. Use DEET. If you own a homestead or a small acreage, I would say get you a bunch of guineas. Guineas will eat ticks. They'll eat millions of ticks. Their primary source of food are bugs. So get you a bunch of guineas. Guineas are very beneficial for your homestead. They're a good alarm, a good predator deterrent, and they eat ticks. And if you have goats or cows, they'll get out there in the fields and scratch through their manure and spread it out. My daddy kept 15, 20 guineas all the time. They'd be out there in the middle of the cow pasture, you know, scratching through the manure, spreading the manure. But anyway, just be careful. Appreciate y'all watching. Hope that information has helped you. Please subscribe, like, and follow. I'll catch you later.